Hi, I'm Dr. Dan, and we're talking more about some gluten issues today. Now, maybe you just discovered that you're gluten sensitive, and you've been told that probably your whole family is dealing with the same problem, and maybe as many as 150 million Americans are dealing with this too. Most of them don't know it, and then your next question is, well, if that's true, then how come more people don't know about it? And to understand that, you have to get a feel for how information is disseminated in our country. Now, if a pharmaceutical company had discovered this and found a pill that would work, you can bet there would be a 90-second commercial on every 2 hours on every major network, along with magazine spreads and newspaper spreads explaining this whole thing. And of course there would be these independent articles in magazines describing it, that gee whiz, look like they're written by pharmaceutical companies, what we get now. So it wouldn't take long. Every women's magazine, every health magazine, every Time magazine, they'd all have it. They'd all have articles about this. But that hasn't happened because the only treatment for this is not a pill, but it's get the gluten out of your diet. So pharmaceutical companies are not going to spend any time and money, energy to do that. So they're also not going to send reps to doctors' offices to educate the doctors and to give them a nice big meal and sample packs and explain to them the whole problem and make sure they're up to speed and get them on board. So that hasn't happened, so your doctor's not going to get information from that angle, so they've got to get it from somewhere else. They've got to dig it out like you do. They've got to go looking for it. So now, maybe a doctor does decide he wants to try to do a good job for you and diagnose your problem, and they piece together all this information. This is before the good lab testing we have currently. And so they go through all this work, and they say, the treatment is to get gluten out of your diet. And so you give up half your bread, and you only have a little bit of pasta instead of a lot of pasta. And so you come back a month later and you say, you know what, I don't feel any different. And then 6 months later, I don't feel any different. And I've cut out almost all the gluten, all that bread and pasta out of my diet. Because the problem is that low gluten doesn't work. It's got to be no gluten. You've got to be gluten-free. And it doesn't take very, very much. It takes about 1/50th of a piece of bread to throw you off. So the doctor's not going to want to go down that trail again, and so the information just doesn't get out there. But you're not on your own in that regard, because there are books, excellent books. There are magazines, Gluten-Free Living, internet's full of information about gluten, and so you're not on your own there. So don't think that you have to wait for the whole world to catch on to this before you jump in and do something right for your health. So anyway, thanks a lot for listening. I'm Dr. Dan.